if you would say persimmons to somebody in the northern part of this state or the northern part of Michigan or a lot of states, they'd say, "What's a persimmon?"
What's a persimmon?
Yeah, because they have no idea. And they think that you can go out, if they do know what it is, they think you can pick them off the tree like you do an apple, and you don't do that. You can't pick them off the tree, or you can't pick up the ones that the birds knock off, then they peck at them, and they fall, because if they're hard, they're not ripe. A green persimmon is puckery. Green persimmon contains tannic acid, which if you eat enough of them, they'll make you really sick. Ripe persimmon are real sweet. They get ripe about the end of September. A persimmon has the highest amount of sugar content of any fruit except a date. And dates have more sugar content than persimmons. But to me, a persimmon, when it's really ripe, tastes a whole lot like a date does. But they just have a sweet, they're really a delicate fruit to me. I mean, I think they're delicate from the standpoint of the way they taste, and also from the standpoint that they don't last very long. If you don't take care of them the next day after you pick them up from under the tree and you leave them sitting out, they start to ferment. And they do make persimmon wine. Well, it must have been about 1968 when I became the chairman of the pudding contest. And then in 1969 is when Jean Hewitt from the New York Times came here. Was their food editor, and she was writing a regional cookbook. And she was going around to all the fall festivals getting recipes for this cookbook. And I was her host while she was here. She had put in her item that anyone that was interested in persimmons, that they should write to me. And that year, we decided we would try to ship some. So we shipped 67 pints to New York. And then after that, we decided that if we were going to keep doing this, we had to get it right. So we went to the state and to the Purdue University to find out how to get this in a can. We canned persimmons for 32 years, but we quit in 1998. It's hard work, I will say that, and I think that's the reason no one else has wanted to do it. I mean, I've had people call and ask me if anybody in this area can persimmon, and they don't. There's plenty of sale for it if somebody wanted to do it, but it's really hard work. After they read about me in the newspaper, they would send me recipes, and I've got recipes from everywhere. And so after I had this stack of recipes, I thought, well, nobody said I couldn't publish them, so I did. So I put them together, plus some of the winning recipes for the persimmon pudding contest. Plus, I started the novelty contest. When I was chairman, they had never had anything but just pudding. So I started what we called a novelty contest, that people could bring everything but cookies. They couldn't bring cookies, but they could bring pies or cakes or breads or whatever they cooked up with persimmons. And I took some of those novelty desserts. And I've still got now I've got enough more recipes to do another book if I want to do them. It's been one of the most enjoyable things I've ever done because we meet so many people. There was people come here from everywhere, and people would call you and they write you letters. It's been part of my life, and you mention a persimmon, then I just start thinking. Any function we have at church, I don't have to ask what to do. I just bake persimmon puddings.
Yeah, that's right.
And anything I go to. It's just a tradition. Got to have a persimmon pudding.